of the questions I always thought about when I was young and didn't quite get a satisfactory answer from my parents was, money seems like such a good thing. I'd love to have more of it. Why doesn't the central bank just print more? Just keep printing and give everybody more of it, and we'd all be happier, right? Why doesn't that happen? Why am I such a cruel person today that I keep control of our printing presses and don't just churn out 1,000 rupee notes after 1,000 rupee notes and just distribute them in this room? You'd all be much happier, right? Right? Would anybody be sad if I distributed 1,000 rupee notes in this room? Why would you be sad?
I wouldn't be sad as such, but then the value of hard-earned money would be lost. I mean, you're getting money for free and then everyone will not work, not do anything. It'll just be like...
So you're one step beyond where I want to go. I mean, it's a very good point you're making.
Thank you.
That if we all didn't have to earn a living and get money for it, nobody would really be willing to work. But before that, there's another problem. Think of the economy I've talked about, where I make toys and my friend makes playing cards. We can print money, right? But there's only a finite amount of goods available. As you print more money, it's not that the goods available increase, right? What happens then as we print more money? If the goods that are available don't increase, what happens? The price of the money comes down, that's a great point, or the price of goods goes up. It's this exact same thing that happens. In other words, we get inflation. If we just keep printing money, if we open the printing presses, it's not that there's more goods to go around. The goods to go around depend on production. If we don't produce more, there's not more to buy. So just the fact there's more money around doesn't mean that we can all have all the candies and toys and sweets and bicycles that we want. There's a finite amount of those. In fact, as the young lady there said, if we have plenty of money and we get it for free without working, even the production of existing goods will start going down. And as that production goes down, inflation will be even higher. So an increase in the price of goods is called inflation. My job is to stop inflation, is to prevent inflation. Why is inflation bad? Because as the prices go up and up and up, everybody becomes very confused. They don't want to hold money because it's losing value. And as a result, the economy starts deteriorating, it slows down, etc. So now you understand, hopefully, that I can't print all the money that you might want. I have to be careful. I have to maintain a certain degree of conservatism about printing money. Now, the flip side of the central bank is the government, right? And of course, if the government, how does the government spend money? It raises taxes and it spends it on worthwhile stuff for the people. But in situations where it doesn't raise enough revenue for the amount it spends, what does it do? What's that called, by the way? When it spends more than it raises in taxes? It goes into debt, but the process by which it's spending more than it raises is called what? It's called a deficit. It's called a budget deficit, right? And the budget deficit is financed by issuing debt, okay? Now, a reasonable amount of budget deficit is okay, especially for a growing country, and a reasonable amount of debt is okay, right? But what's the worst way to finance that debt? To borrow more money, but okay, that was a hard question. The worst way to finance that debt is for the central bank to take on that debt and print money, right? Because what happens if we take the government's debt and start printing money? The same thing we just said. Value of money falls, we get inflation, right? So the central bank can't print money and give it to you. The central bank should not print money and give it to the government. It has to be careful about doing things. There is a certain rate at which it prints money. That is to accommodate the growth in the economy and the fact that people need the money to make purchases and sales, but it has to be careful about that. So my job is to be careful about that process, not to print money too fast. And one of the reasons across the world central is because they don't also want central banks to buy the government's debt too easily, finance the government, and create inflation through the back door. Okay, so now you've learned a lot of economics in the last 5 minutes. I think I should stop now and maybe give you a chance to ask questions. Thank you very much.